Good evening, everyone. We're happy to have you here tonight. Let us bow our heads, please, in a word of prayer. Lord, we thank you for this day and all that you have been to us and done for us. Thank you for the citizens that are here. Help us to make right decisions to move Orangeburg forward. And most of all, keep us safe. In your name we pray. Amen. 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 We are here for a public hearing, and if you wish to speak on the public hearing, please be mindful of the time. The time is 5 minutes each individual, so please be reminded of the time. And when you come to the podium, please state your name, your address for our records, please. Our first item is consideration of zoning district map change from A3 Residential General District to B1 General Business District for the property belonging to Edward M. Rass, located at 390 Wheeler Street, tax map number 0173-1805-001-000. So the floor is open now to anyone that would like to speak on this matter. Okay. If not, yes, sir.
So I am the current owner of this property and the
State your
adjacent
name
property. My
first.
name is Brian Holliday,
And your address.
and the address would be 780 Nottingham. Also, Wheeler is the adjacent property to it. And we intend to use it for our business, and this is for us to have our business in the town and hire people here in Orangeburg to help us operate. So if there's any questions that I can answer for you guys, I'd be happy to do that.
Okay, tell the public what kind of business.
It's an event rental business. And event rentals, yes, sir. And we plan on hubbing out of Orangeburg to get to Columbia, Greenville, Charleston, down to Beaufort, up to Florence. And it's a perfect spot for us, and we look forward to working with the people here in Orangeburg.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Is there anybody else that wishes to speak? Yes, ma'am. You have to come to the mic, ma'am.
Hey, my name is Chris Franklin. I don't really want to speak, but I wanted to make sure, is it that green and white building, or the green building?
It's a big warehouse.
Okay, and it's in front of the trailer park, and next to the House of Pizza?
It's across from where UPS has a truck lot,
Mhm.
and Zap has a manufacturing plant.
Can you hear me? That's in your ear.
I know the last time someone may have asked if it becomes a commercial, will it raise the taxes in the community?
I'm not sure. Cindy, I want to answer that for us.
If it becomes a commercial community, will the taxes go up, the property taxes?
Not the whole community.
If, sorry. So your question is if it becomes if the building,
The zoning becomes community, commercial property? The people that live there, will their taxes go up?
not for the people that live there, for the building, if it becomes commercial, it'll be taxed.
They'll take the responsibility.
Yes, it
All
would
right.
be like the residential taxes.
Any more questions concerning item number 1? Any more questions? If not, I want to read item number 2. Consideration of zoning district map change from B1 General Business District to B2 Central Business District for property belonging to Martin Roach, located at 812 Russell Street, tax map number 0152-2007-002-000 and 776 Russell Street, tax map number 0152-2008-001-000. And again, if you would like to speak on item number 2, please come to the podium, state your name and your address.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
My name is Martin Roach, and I'm from Orangeburg, South Carolina. And just want to go through a couple of slides of the project that we're working on that we think is very exciting for Orangeburg, very exciting for South Carolina State University, and downtown Orangeburg. So this is an elevation of the project. And by the way, just wanted to introduce a couple of people on my team. I've got, first of all, Mr. Richard Rouse, who flew in today from New York City. Mr. Rouse is a longtime friend of mine. We've been doing business and knowing each other for over 20 years. Lieutenant Colonel Jesse Hines, who's also a good friend and business partner for over 30 years. I'd be remiss if I didn't say my wife, Kimberly Roach. But also, in terms of building and architecture, Chad Askew from Housing Studio is not here with us today, but we do have Mr. Rusty Porter from CF Evans that is going to be an integral part of our building team. And obviously, they have a long and fantastic track record of building multifamily throughout the Southeast. And Mr. Porter is back there. So let's see, I've got a clicker here. So this is the elevation, and we have certainly, coming into the gardens, we're not next to it, but we are fairly close. But we feel like the elevation should read retail from the first floor. And we also feel like that this would enliven an area that is not enlivened right now, and also create a fantastic place for our students to live. We are going to house juniors, seniors, and graduate students in this complex. And we've also integrated quite a bit of landscape that also makes it feel really nice. One of the things that we talk about a lot is how student housing has enlivened a lot of places around the nation. But just locally, if you think about Columbia, they have downtown student housing. For the University of South Carolina. For Charleston, downtown student housing for the Medical University of South Carolina and College of Charleston. For Savannah, the Savannah College of Art and Design has done a tremendous amount of student housing as well as academic buildings in downtown Savannah. And even Rock Hill with Winthrop College, they also have downtown student housing. So if this can exist in a lot of these markets and create a lot of economic activity and stimulus in these markets, why not Orangeburg? We've got two great universities, and although this particular initiative is based around South Carolina State University, there is a housing need in Orangeburg for students, and there is a need to enliven our downtown area, and this is our goal with this project. I'm not sure if I can click through with the clicker. Okay, so that's just a topographical study. That area actually sits both parcels anywhere from 170 to 190 feet above sea level. So it's a great location. I own the building across the street, which actually sits over 200 feet above sea level. So this would be, the building would be quite a bit lower, but it would certainly read at about the same elevation or the height of the building, which is the old Coca-Cola building, which we also own. So this is a study. One of the things that's very important is parking for these kids. And so that shows an area that I'm trying to acquire that will house the parking for about 134 parking spaces that is on Langston Street. But to the left, you see that there are two structures, one smaller than the other, and the pink area would house about 2,500 square feet of retail storefront, and also about 3,000 feet of amenity spaces. And our plan is to build a state-of-the-art facility. So you can see how we've integrated a great deal of landscape. Even when we did our project with the, do I need to stop? Even when we did our project with, across the street, we think that landscape is very important for that area, and that does, in fact, give a nod to the garden. There's the floor plans, side elevations, and then back to the main elevation. So I'll end there.
Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Rainey, just state your name and your address, please, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Joyce Rainey, and my address is Livingston Terrace in Orangeburg.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor Butler
Good
and
evening.
council.
Good evening.
I'm both sad and disappointed that I'm here to again address an issue that I thought was settled a few months ago. The difference is that this will be going south on Broughton Street on the left side of the street instead of the right side of the street. But we are still addressing four-story buildings. Now, I want to preface this by saying I'm not against student housing. I just think that the gardens is the wrong place for it. When I say the gardens, God's not making any more land, but we have a lot of land in Orangeburg. And it just seems like there could be another place that these apartments could be built. We have such open space right now, and the gardens cannot speak for themselves, but we are encroaching on it. And it's, to me, the drawing card for Orangeburg. But anyhow, I think it's wonderful. You're considering landscape, which I think ought to be something that should be considered. But I just think that this area needs to be protected, and the gardens cannot speak for themselves. So it's only the residents of Orangeburg that loves and appreciates Orangeburg that will speak out for them. And I thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else would like to speak on this item 2? Anybody else? Yeah, okay.
You know, I love Mrs. Rainey, and we actually talked on Sunday, and I certainly heard her concerns, and, you know, but the Gardens is a great place. I love the Gardens. I also think it would be a fantastic place for kids to walk around, and I also think it would be a fantastic place to enliven the city so that others, not just Orangeburg people, can enjoy the Gardens. And if you have storefronts, and if you have retail activity, and if you have economic stimulus, and if you have bodies in that area, I think more people would be drawn to the Edisto Gardens. I also turned to a study that was done by the South Carolina Department of Commerce, which this board adopted a few weeks ago. And the main thing that it said that Orangeburg needed was people. It needs people downtown. And when you put people downtown, then you'll see the type of economic growth downtown that you'd like to see.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Question?
Mr. Roach.
Yes, sir.
Is this building mainly for the students, or someone else can live in
No,
there?
students only, juniors, seniors, and graduate students. It is not what is called in this business a market rate. This will not be for families. It will not be for just anyone. It would just be for South Carolina State University students.
You heard Mrs. Renee, speak against the building of your structure there. What impact do you think your apartment will have on the garden?
Well, I think that, I'm sorry. I think that it'll be, you know, I walk through the gardens every day, and I enjoy it. And I think, you know, others do the same thing as I do and enjoy seeing the beauty of it and walking next to the river. And I don't see any reason why students can't do the same thing. I think that one of the things that may come to mind is that, you know, the governance of students, and that's something that we will definitely do our best to control. And I think that they're going to assimilate, and other people will assimilate when they see a building of this magnitude. You know, growth is, sometimes it's a little bit confusing, but once it's there, it makes everybody feel proud. And I'm from Orangeburg. I don't want to do anything that's not going to make Orangeburg feel proud. As a matter of fact, it's not just my desire, it's my duty, because I know how to do this. And that's the reason for doing it. I want it to be great for the town and great for the university.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
And do we have anybody else that want to speak in the public hearing before we move to the agenda? Anybody else? If not, thank you so much. Now we are going into our regular agenda. Item number 3, consideration of May 6, 2025 City Council minutes.
Move for passage.
Motion's been made by Councilman Stroman,
Second.
second by Councilman Kalou. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, the motion is carried. We have an appearance tonight by Mr. Paul Miller concerning concerns of the Columbia Road. And tonight, I'm going to ask if it please the council, Mr. Miller needs some extra time. So if you would come at this time, Mr. Miller, state your name and your address, and we can hear your concerns.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. It's kind of interesting being on this side of the fence where I spent many years on the other side. So thank you very much for allowing me an opportunity to come. And I have Mr. Beach with me to talk about some other issues that he's more familiar with than I would be. Sometime in late April, we heard noise of trees being cut and falling to the ground. Didn't know what it was. And so I went around there to see what was going on, and somebody was clear cutting the lot and grading it. And then I saw where there were, looked like what would be 3 separate pads to put a house on. So obviously I received lots of phone calls from people around the neighborhood and people not in the neighborhood. It made me think, what is going on? And so I came down to City Hall and I went to see David Epting and asked him about it. And he said, yeah, the lot's being subdivided into 3 parcels. And I said, well, this is in the covenants and restrictions for Berry Woods, which that lot is a part of, that you can only have 1 house on 1 lot. And he said, well, the 3 parcels makes it where they could have 1 house on each of the 3 parcels. Well, as I got more involved in it, I found that actually 2 of the lots don't even meet the zoning codes set forth by the city. So because of that, I've spent a lot of time researching and trying to figure out what was what, and I brought Mr. Beach to come and address some other things as it relates to that. But if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them if I can. Okay? All right, I'm gonna have Ladson come. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor and Council, my name is Ladson Beach. I'm an attorney here in Orangeburg. I practice in real estate primarily, and I've been doing it for 40-some-odd years. So I was born and raised here. This town's dear to me. And Paul called me. I actually sat down with him for the first time yesterday, and he explained to me the situation. So I've only had a little bit of time to take a look at the from a legal perspective, what has occurred here. And I'll just give you a quick run through. I'll be fairly brief. On April 1 of 2025, an LLC called Orangeburg Property Ventures LLC, which is a company owned by Thomas Green, purchased a lot of 0.65 acres on Columbia Road. That's the main thoroughfare leading from Columbia into Orangeburg. The tax map number is 0152-08-07-011. Purchased it from Lloyd Bullard. That deed on its face in the property description has the following language in all caps. This conveyance is made subject to the restrictive covenants recorded in deed book 412 at page 515. Restrictive covenants are covenants between a landowner to control the use and development of property to those who he sells his property to. This subdivision's been in existence since the 60s or 70s. It's a very well-established subdivision on the right when you're coming into Orangeburg from Columbia. It is one of the nicest subdivisions. It is beautiful homes, well-established, and a number of the lots along Columbia Road have not been developed. The restrictive covenants that I mentioned state, and these were made in 1975, and this is in the deed to a prior owner. Under item 3, that but one residential building shall be erected on the lot hereinabove described. Cut and dried. One house, one lot. On April 9th, there was a plat prepared of this 0.6 acre lot for Thomas Green. That plat subdivided the original lot into 3 smaller lots. Those 3 lots contained 0.16 acres, 0.17 acres, and 0.33 acres. And this is where the problem occurs. That plat on April 21st received the stamp of approval by the zoning administrator. The plat was recorded the same day. At some unknown date, we don't know when, we haven't been able to get the documents yet, but Mr. Green obtained a building permit. As Mr. Miller indicated, the best date we can come up with is about May 1, is when he started to visit zoning administration. There was a series of emails between the zoning administrator and Mr. Miller commencing May 6. We understand that that there was a stop work order issued, but we have no further information as to when it was issued or the contents of that order. We were just told that that's what occurred. In looking at the statutes that govern these types of activities, the statutes involving zoning and land development are all under the South Carolina Local Government Comprehensive Planning Act, which is an enabling act of 1994. That's the core legal basis for all of this. That statute, under section 6-21-1145, contains the following language. Section A, in an application for a permit, the local planning agency must inquire in the application or by written instructions to an applicant whether the tract or parcel of land is restricted by any recorded covenant that is contrary to, conflicts with, or prohibits the permitted activity. State law. Pretty clear, pretty cut and dried. Now, that obviously did not occur. So an error was made, and that's why we're here today, to ask your help in remedying this problem. The City of Orangeburg's Land Development Ordinance, adopted in 2009, specifically states that no plat for a subdivision of land within the city shall be filed unless it's approved by the Planning Commission and complies with the ordinance. The approval process puts all plats into 4 different areas: an exempt subdivision, a minor subdivision, a major subdivision, or a land development project other than a subdivision. This particular plat, because it's only 3 lots, falls into the minor subdivision category. It is not exempt, and it's not a land development project other than a subdivision. That refers to manufacturing and motels and things like that. Now, a subdivision, by definition, under Article 7, is the division of a tract, parcel, or lot of land into 2 or more lots or buildings. So it's clearly a subdivision. Now, a minor subdivision is defined as one which does not involve any of the following. Number A, the creation of more than 5 lots, and that's the critical part of it. So this is 3 lots, so it's a minor subdivision. Anything more than 5 is a major subdivision. Now, obviously, in looking at what occurred, there are 2 things going on here. Number 1 is the building permit, and number 1 is the plat approval process. The building permit, which I think is what Mr. Green obtained, it doesn't on the face of it appear to have any requirement that you disclose restrictive covenants. Mr. Green obviously knew about them. They've been on the public record since 1975, and they were specifically cited in his deed. The end result is that apparently the plat approval was listed in error. In addition to that, when you look at the actual plat, the zoning ordinance, which is, as I got into it late last night, 119 pages long, under Table 2 lists a schedule of lot areas. The minimum area of a lot to be approved is 7,500 square feet. If you do the math on 2 of the 3 lots don't meet that requirement, so they're in violation. The 3rd lot is a little bit bigger. And these are just a few of the items that I was able to touch base on with a quick look, less than 24 hours in dealing with this. However, I would also bring to council's attention that the city has adopted a tree ordinance. That tree ordinance says prior to any development, the destruction of any significant tree or destruction of more than 25% of any tree measuring 12 inches DBH, which is diameter, in any one parcel without the prior approval of the zoning administrator, which shall approve shall not be unreasonably withheld, shall be prohibited. So we have a situation where apparently an error was made. And we are here to ask the council to please remedy the error. We do not know what the city's position is. I understand that you have executive session later to possibly address that issue. We would like, if at all possibility, to have this matter as expedited as possible. If you go out there and look at what's on the street right now, this gentleman in a matter of weeks has built, it's a very small house, but it is a house. He managed to get it built for reasons known to him, quicker than any stick-built house I've ever heard of in history. So what these people in this neighborhood want to do is to come to council and ask that you would please remedy this situation. What has happened is this error, it has damaged a beautiful subdivision, and it's left a scar on one of the primary entrances to the city of Orangeburg. And again, the people in this community are depending upon you, and we certainly appreciate your time and your help in getting this resolved. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Mr. Beach, I want to say something here to you.
Yes, sir.
This council is very sensitive to this matter.
Yes, sir.
It's very serious. I do understand that neighborhood is very beautiful. It's beautiful. It's one of the oldest neighborhoods in this city. And when we heard about what had happened, we do want to apologize, first of all, on the application that they fill out back there in Public Works. It's not on the application to which you stated as such, the covenant.
To clarify, there are two applications we're dealing with. The first application is nothing but a building permit.
Right,
It's not on the building permit.
yes.
If this had gone through the proper channels and been dealt with as a minor subdivision, that application does specifically, right in the middle of it, cite that statute that I just mentioned,
Right.
saying that you've got to disclose the restrictive covenants.
So we're making corrections on that as we speak. We're making corrections on the application so that this will not happen again. And we don't want to see that happen again. And we ask this community, those that live in Moss High, is that called Moss High?
No, sir, it's
We're
Berry
talking-
Woods. It's
Berry
a
Woods.
Beautiful brick sign
We
that
want
says
to, we
Berry
want
Woods.
to, we want to apologize to all of you that live in Berry Woods, because I wouldn't want 3 houses on one piece of property in my neighborhood, especially that kind of building. And we do apologize, and we are on it. We are on it. When we heard about it, we are on it.
Thank
to
you,
get it
Mr.
straight.
Mayor.
And our city administrator is on it also. He was on it and he talked to Mr. Epting to get that straight so that would not happen again. Thank you. Council, do y'all have anything?
No, the only thing that I can say is based on the current information that we just received, yielding to attorney, do we have to put this as a line item for the next meeting or make executive session for it?
We just make the correction.
Yeah.
The matter will be discussed in executive session for legal advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just like, he has
Go
something.
ahead, go ahead.
Would just like to say, like Mayor said, we do apologize for any problems that have occurred, but we are certainly doing what we can to correct what has happened. And I really wouldn't want that to happen to anyone.
Yes.
So we do apologize.
Well,
to
thank
the
you so much. I
community.
appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
And we appreciate your support, and we appreciate your taking whatever steps are necessary to resolve the problem.
Yes.
Thank you for your insight into this situation. I happen to represent that district, District 3. And visitation by myself and visitation by the citizens echoing their concerns. I never gave them any left or right with me. Basically, I listened. Now, you come before me, you have a wealth of knowledge and training and expertise. The house is there, one house is there. I passed it and I've seen it. And I guess the other two, like I said, will come up like popcorn. But it reminds me of going to a wedding and the preacher's getting ready to say, "I do," and someone holler. So what would you suggest that we do from here?
I was hoping someone would not ask that question.
No.
But you don't have
Obviously,
to
you
answer.
have
You don't have to
much
answer.
more learned counsel to
Yeah.
assist you in looking at the
Right,
issues
right.
and resolving the questions.
Right.
Your statutes do have some remedies. They are, unfortunately, a lot of the remedies are associated with the review of various decisions and actions by a board. But the traditional remedies for a violation of a restrictive covenant are usually carried out by those affected by the restrictive covenants and the violations. I do not know if the city would have standing in such a situation to bring an action for redress regarding that. The types of actions are generally injunctive relief, and there are civil damages and attorney's fees that can be awarded and so forth. But that's, unfortunately, I have not spent much time at this. Number two, I am not conversant with these statutes and have not done any research on the decisions made by either the Attorney General or the courts involving these issues. So, and you have much more learned counsel to assist you in looking at those, so I'm gonna have to defer as to what action you should, or I would advise you to take.
Well, a wedding to be put on pause. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Any more questions?
No, this for, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor?
I can't even believe it.
Just for clarification, with the attorney, we're talking in terms of making a discussion about the issue in the executive session. And we don't take a vote in the executive session. So for clarification, after the discussion, where do we go from here? Do we come back and take a vote or what, make a decision?
The challenge is, let me make sure before I say this. Thankfully, our clerk included language on the agenda that reflects that council may enter executive session to discuss the items and may return to open session to vote on any matter that's discussed. So because this matter is listed on the agenda, council would have the opportunity if it wanted to come out and take some action.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
I'd like to ask a question. I haven't heard two different stories. Are they allowed to finish the house or they're supposed to stop with the house?
Executive
The only thing I'm comfortable saying, obviously, as I've said to council before, I prefer to not give legal advice. As a factual matter, it is accurate to reflect that a stop work order was posted on that site.
I heard last week it was supposed to, but it's still been working on the house. That's why I'm asking.
Executive session.
Can't confirm that it was
We're
last
talking
week.
executive session. Thank you.
But a lot specifically say one house per lot, right?
Yes,
Is
sir.
that right?
Yes, sir. That's clear. And that's typical in just about every single subdivision. A lot of subdivisions, such as this one, will allow you to combine two lots and build one house on two, but you can't build two on one.
Right.
That's pretty clear. It's very, I don't think there's a whole lot of interpretation that
That's right.
needs to go into that particular question. It violates the restrictive covenants, clearly.
Yes.
And he knew about it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Beach.
Thank y'all. Appreciate your time.
Go ahead, Mr. Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council. One thing that also, to say this, when all this started happening, and I came down to Mr. Epting and I asked him, I said, with this, why isn't there a sign out there to have a public hearing? Which, you know, most things require that. He said it didn't require a public hearing to do what we're doing. It meets all standards and setbacks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And as I delved into it, it told me that it clearly didn't meet some of those things. And that's why I asked Mr. Beach to come, because he's versed with the way the law is written. So
Thank you.
I just pray that y'all's wisdom will work toward trying to protect our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have item number 5, Parks and Recreation Director Sean Taylor, the and the DYB state tournament in June. He's gonna give us an update.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council.
Good evening.
Administrator Everett. Wanted to bring to the public and council's attention this year that we'll be hosting again the Diamond Youth Softball State Tournament, bringing a total of 38 teams to the city, June 21st to 24th. And we'll also be hosting the Diamond Youth Baseball State Tournament, Coach Pitch, bringing 24 teams, June 28th to July 1st. Just wanted to make sure that you all are aware. Our opening ceremonies will be held on Claflin University campus, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Does anybody have any questions concerning
Wait,
item
wait.
number 5?
Thank you, Mr. Sean. We have two events, separate weeks. Are both of them profitable?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yep. We're bringing, I can tell you that the first tournament will bring over 600 student athlete players to the city, and another 400 the next weekend, with families staying about 4 weeks in Orangeburg here those 2 weekends.
At this time, I just want to commend Mr. Sean Taylor and his staff for the work that you all do.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people actually goes out there and sit through the time that all of this is going on. It is the most admiring thing that you can see, and so enjoyable. So many new faces coming into Orangeburg, and people from day to day leaving all of their goodies here for us and going back home. I am encouraging our constituents to go out to the sports arena. It is the most enjoyable area that you want to see. Take young people. There are 2 and 3 games going on at one time. This you don't see. So it is amazing. I am there. I love it. So thanks very much. I'm always encouraging people to come out.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Taylor?
I went out a couple of games, past, I just want to commend you on this ball.
Yes.
I thought it looked real good.
Thank you.
Looked better than I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Somebody's doing a good job.
It is great.
Mr. Taylor, you keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. We're gonna have, on item number 6, we can have our Chief of Police, Chief Charles Austin, to come and give us an update on crime statistics. Thank
Mr.
you.
Mayor, members of council, good evening, Mr. Everin.
Thank you.
I do want to give you a brief overview of comparison crime during the first quarter 2024 to first quarter 2025. We are showing a trend downward, and that's a good thing in both violent crime and property crime. One of the concerns that we do have, though, is that contained within our violent crime statistics is an issue with domestic violence. And we're, of course, working with the courts to identify what best practices are available that we might be able to address that issue. But overall, we are very pleased with the direction of things, and I certainly salute the men and women who make up the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety for their continuing efforts, and thank you for your support.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Ms. Chief Austin?
Yeah, I just need to direct one question to you. Mr. Roach made a presentation about the projected apartment and towards downtown.
Mm-hmm.
What impact would that have on the police department? Are you going to increase the amount of personnel around that area, or what?
Well, that property would already be contained within our downtown patrol sector.
Okay.
So the personnel that we have assigned per shift should be able to respond to whatever issues come up.
Okay. All right, thank you.
again, we just want to commend the police department. You're always going around to every area, seeing that things are really being okay, and we do appreciate it. That is not easy work, and we commend you and your staff
Thank you very
for
much,
the work
Dinesh.
that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Everett, item number 7. You know, we've been asleep. Give us a refresher.
Yes, yes, sir. Good evening, Mayor, Council, guests. Item number 7 for your consideration is third reading of an ordinance authorizing the option to transfer and approval of transfer of approximately 1.78 acres of real property with improvements, if any, located at 351 Langston Street, TMS number 0173-17-31-006.000. There is one substantive change that I wanted to bring to your attention. As you recall, this is the option agreement that would offer a 12-month option for a price of $10,000 to the property on at 351 Langston Street. There will also be an option for an there will be an additional 6-month option at $5,000, 2 6-month options at $5,000 apiece would be the best way to say that, should they be needed. But one substantive change that I did want to bring to your attention, in section 6 of the option agreement under purchase and sale agreement, it says that the purchase and sale agreement, should it be entered into, shall contain a provision that part of the deed transferring the property and/or part of a separate recordable instrument which shall restrict the use of the property to a parking lot serving only student housing development. So I just wanted to be sure that you all was aware that that language would be included, as was previously discussed, that that property would be used for a parking lot. And that language will be included in the purchase sales agreement should it get to that point. This is for the Roach Rouse Group. This would be an ordinance or option agreement for them. That's all I have. Any questions?
Yeah. Are we better off with the new regulations that is placed in there?
I'm sorry?
Are we better off?
Yes, sir. I think so. I think so. Again, this is just an option agreement that would allow that property, the Roach Rouse Group, to put an option to purchase that property, again, for an initial 12-month period at $10,000, and then 2 subsequent 6-month period options if needed at $5,000 apiece. The sale of the property is for $100,000. The option, any purchase of the options would come off of the purchase price.
Thank you, sir.
Are there any questions for Mr. Every? If not, I'm going to read the ordinance authorizing the option to transfer and approve to transfer of approximately 1.78 acres of real property with improvements, and if any, located at 351 Lancaster Street with the county tax map 0173-1731-006-000 and providing for other related matters. Need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion been made by Councilman Hannah.
Second.
Second by Councilman Knotts. All in favor?
Aye. Abstain.
Ayes.
Abstain.
Ms. Grievous, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Grievous?
She said
Aye.
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 Okay, aye. All, motion is carried. All in favor? Motion is carried. Abstain, one abstain. Okay.
We have item number 8. Miss Terry Williams is coming to give us an update on this.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
I am here to present the second reading of the ordinance to consider a zoning district map change from A3 Residential General District to B1 General Business District for property located at 390 Wheeler Street. This was one of the public hearings that we heard earlier today, and it was a recommendation that was made by the Planning Commission to the council.
Are there any discussions about this ordinance? Anyone? An ordinance to approve a change to the zoning district map from A3 Residential General District to B1 General Business for the property belonging to Edward M. Rass, located at 390 Wheeler Street, also known as tax map number 01731805001000, and provide for related matters. We need a motion, council.
Mayor and council, I approve the ordinance to approve a change to the zoning district at 390 Wheeler Street, and also known as the TAP Max, and provided for the related matters.
Second.
A motion's been made by Councilman Kidd, second by Councilman Kalou. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Thank you. Item number 9, Mrs.
Mayor and Council, I am here again to present second reading of the ordinance for a zoning district map change from B1 General Business District to B2 Central Business District for properties belonging to Mr. Martin Roach, located 812 Russell Street and 776 Russell Street. Again, it was part of the public hearings that we heard today, and it was a recommendation made by the Planning Commission to council.
Okay, before we vote, I want to say something on this. To all of you that are here and that are listening to me virtually, we have strategically tried our best to build downtown. And we were always told that downtown would never be built until we get people to live down there. One of our current plans is to all of the vacant spaces upstairs, hopefully we can get people to up over the buildings, that we can turn those into apartments, because a lot of people want to live in the downtown area. And we have thought about this and thought about it long and hard. We looked at the gardens when they wanted to do for the Pecan place, and we couldn't do it because it was subsidized housing. And we didn't want that kind of thing on the gardens. Martin came with a plan, and he moved up the street just a tad bit, because we always consider the gardens. We like the gardens, and we consider the gardens. I lived in Orangeburg 48 years. I came in when I was 17, go to school. I've lived here, I worked here. I know the value of the gardens. I know the value of everything that's in Orangeburg. But we have to get downtown back vibrant. And we will never get it vibrant if we don't get people downtown to live. We have to. That's just part of the plan. We've studied this plan. We got to get them down there, because otherwise they won't come. And then when we get people down there to live, we get other things. Because we used to have Mr. Finks down there. We used to have all kind of stores down there, 5 and 10 First. Used to have popcorn, sodas, and ices. And I was 18 and 19 and 20, walking down there eating and going to those stores. And it was big down there. I think we had Woolworth down there one time. We had Belts was downtown when I first came. So we had these things down there. I want to see Orangeburg get back. Now, it's getting late in the evening. We got to build Orangeburg. We got to build. We got to get it to come back. And when we did the strategic plan, am I right or am I wrong? When we did the strategic plan, that's the thing that they stressed to us. Now, I did not want to see nothing on the edge of those gardens or nothing that, that disturb. I do agree with Ms. Rainey. Ms. Rainey said it can't speak for itself. We do try to protect the garden, but with this, we moved up the street and it's going down the hill to 301. So it's also gonna make 301 look good, because I'm tired of going down looking at that hotel down there. This look shabby, and looking at Burger King over there and people walking. I want to see something downtown in this corridor that's going to build us, and that's our aim for this city. So I just wanted to get that out, to let you know the directions I feel of where we going. I don't know how anybody else feels, but that's where I feel.
I just think that, I mean, I'm not against somebody building on Russell Street with students, but I just think that's a little too far from the college, a mile and 2/10. And I wouldn't want my daughter walking down Russell Street at night, not this day and time. And by the way, we are building some college dormitories in front of the State College right now.
But it's
We're
not
building some
enough.
right now.
It's not enough. It's not enough. They had to turn away
I'm not
5,000
against it.
students.
I just think it's too far. We turned down the Pecan Company, and I just think you should find a place close to the college.
Claflin turned away 3,000 students this time. They couldn't take them. South Carolina State turned down 5,000 students. So it's incumbent on us to build our city and get people housing that they can live here and go to school here, because this is a college town.
I thought the school, during our last presentation, they made the comment that they're going to present a bus, transportation for the students
Yes, they will be
from that
transport.
place to the school.
Shuttle.
Yeah, shuttle bus.
Yes, we have a shuttle bus.
Shuttle buses.
Like in one shuttle bus, take care of 200-something students.
Any more questions? Okay. If not, an ordinance to approve a change to the zoning district map from B1 General Business to B2 Central Business District for the properties belonging to Martin Roach, located at 812 Russell Street and 7. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't, excuse me. I'm gonna pause, y'all. Ms. Grievous online.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Which that this is the second time that this matter has come before council. And I want to reiterate that this is a zoning issue. And what Mr. Roach is proposing is a development on private property, which we really don't have any say-so in, as long as he's following codes and ordinances that we've put into place. So again, while we had the public hearing last time and this time, I think in both of those public hearings, it was pointed out that retail space is also something that's desired downtown. And so what we are voting on with this zoning issue will allow more retail space to come downtown. So again, I just wanted to point out those two things. Is one, that this is a zoning issue. We're not voting whether or not Mr. Roach can build on this property or not, or develop this housing on this property or not, but we're for a zoning issue, which again, would allow more retail space to be developed downtown. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Grievous.
Thank you.
Any more comments? An ordinance to approve a change to the zoning district map, from B1 General Business to B2 Central Business District for the property belonging to Martin Roach, located at 812 Russell Street and 776 Russell Street, also known as tax map number 0152 2007 002 000 and 0152 2008 001 000, and provide for related matters. We would like to entertain a motion, please.
Mayor and council, I'd like to make a motion to approve the ordinance, a change to the zoning district map from B1 Central Business to B2 Central Business District for properties belonging to Martin Roach located at 812 Russell Street and 776 Russell Street.
Second the approval.
Motion has been made by Councilman Kidd, and motion has been seconded by Councilman Kalu. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
I'll abstain.
One abstain. Thank you.
Thank you.
An appointment to the Employees Grievance Committee.
Thank you again, Mayor and Council. There are two expiring terms as of June 4th, 2025 on the Employee Grievance Committee. Our department directors have contacted and gotten buy-in from Parks and Rec, Mr. James Seal, who's currently serving on the Employee Grievance Committee for a reappointment, if you all would consider that, and also Mr. Leandre Felder from the Service Department. If they are reappointed, they will be serving an additional 3 years. And so you have Mr. Seals from Parks and Rec and Mr. Felder from the Service Department for your consideration.
Okay. We need to do a motion for that.
Make a motion that we reappoint Mr. Seal and Mr. Felder.
Motion has been made by Councilman Stroman,
Second.
second by Councilman Knotts. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Aye. Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Taylor is coming with the appointments to the Accommodation Tax Advisory Committee.
Thank you again, Mayor, members of council,
Yes.
Administrator Everin. Before you, we have, for your consideration, several seats on the Accommodation Tax Committee is up for renewal. We do have one vacant seat that we will be making recommendations to fill for the lodging section for your consideration of reappointment with the said term dates. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
You have one vacancy.
Yes, in the lodging sector, and that we'll be making a recommendation in
Okay.
the upcoming
You have- okay.
for that vacancy.
Okay, then. That's just for information.
No, it's for your consideration of reappointments.
Okay, all right. Well, let's have a motion. Somebody make a motion.
I make a motion we'll reappoint him.
Huh?
I make a motion that we'll reappoint people he recommended.
Okay, motion has been made by Councilman Stroman,
Second.
second by Councilman Kidd. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Holly, do we have any matters concerning DPU?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, there is no business for the department.
Thank you. The executive session, receipt of legal advice, South Carolina Code Section 30-4-30-A-2, annexation and real estate covenants. We would like to entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I make a motion we go into executive session.
Motion has been made by Councilman Stroman,
Second.
second by Councilman Knotts. All in favor? Ayes have, the motion is carried. Good night to everyone, and thank you for being here, and do come again.
We're not pulling back out. We're not pulling back out.
They said it was out.